Great news, everyone! It's official! My movie Coyote vs. ACME has been saved!
Yes! This is the best news I've heard in a while! Woohoo! Did Ketchup Entertainment agree to buy distribution rights?
Indeed it did, Daffy. And I thank the release of you and Porky's movie for helping make it possible.
Then that proves it! That the little guys can make a difference!
Yes, that's definitely great news. And I, Sam Valentino, private toon detective, was a little skeptical at first, but upon seeing how the day the Earth blew up, a Looney Tunes movie was being a modest success, having now finally made $10 million worldwide and even performing better critically and financially than Disney's live-action Snow White remake. A couple of days ago, Warner Bros. Discovery and Ketchup Entertainment have finally agreed on the deal for the latter to buy distribution rights to Coyote vs. ACME for a theatrical release next year. While Ketchup Entertainment barely promoted the day the Earth blew up, word of mouth and social media really helped spread awareness, including on my part.
And me too, if you already see me do several times.
And Ketchup Entertainment will also be distributing that movie on Blu-ray, set to be released near the end of this May. I'm a poet, I didn't know it. Like Daffy there said, sometimes the little guy can make a difference, even a lowly private detective like me. And speaking of which, I've been seeing yet another Looney Tunes related gossip going around online that I need to clarify for you all. You've likely heard about plans to demolish the studio the classic Looney Tunes cartoons were made in, claiming it was the birthplace of Bugs Bunny and stuff like that. There's yet another plan from Warner Bros. Discovery and that corrupt David Zaslav as part of his so-called crusade to do away with the Looney Tunes. Well, to start, it was not the original building many of the beloved Looney Tunes stars are created in. The first one was a ramshackle old building made of clapboard infested with bugs, most notably termites, beginning Warner Bros. Animation's long-running nickname of Termite Terrace. Well, fortunately in 1933, a better building was made for a studio, at the time called Leon Schlesinger Productions, and was right on the Warner Bros. Studio lot. The old rundown Termite Terrace building was soon condemned to demolish, so of course that place has been long gone for over 80 years now. But this building, this is where most of the beloved Looney Tunes stars were created. From Porky Pig to Daffy Duck to Bugs Bunny to Tweety to Sylvester to Pepe Le Pew to Wile E. Coyote, you get the idea. And they stayed in that building until 1955. But with that said, the Warner Bros. Animation building they were in at that time still stands today. But the front entrance was removed. But that structure is still standing. They must have done some more renovations too. The building that is being demolished is currently known as Building 131 and was built in 1955. Granted, while the famous Looney Tunes characters weren't actually created there, a bunch of great classic shorts were produced there, such as What's Opera Doc, The Three Little Bops, Birds Anonymous, Robin Hood, Daffy, Showbiz Bugs, and some others. So yeah, I can understand why people have been protesting to save the building. But some of them don't understand that it's not the original Termite Terrace or anything like that. And Warner Bros. Animation was there until they closed in 1969. Though when the studio was dormant from 1963 to 67, to Patty Freeling Enterprises, creator of the Pink Panther related cartoon series, was housed there. Which is oddly fitting since he also made those cheaper Looney Tunes cartoons in that time period. After 1969, it was mostly repurposed into an office building. I noticed the writing staff of Everybody Loves Raymond was housed there for some time. While when Warner Bros. Animation reopened in 1980, they eventually moved to the Sherman Oaks small lot and were there until like the late 2000s. But now people are protesting to save Building 131. And I will admit I'm not sure if that will happen. There were plans to level it for at least 6 or 7 years, even before that Zaslav mug came on board. And it's been in really dilapidated condition, like they barely did any sufficient renovations or repairs or anything. Sometimes if a building is in such sorry shape, there's no point in trying to save it with renovations. But enough about that. Back to Coyote vs. ACME. The public outcry on social media on Warner Bros. Discovery shelving that movie's tax write-off back in November 23. I still remember how strong it was. and people trying to get it saved, all the release Coyote versus ACME hashtags, even Zach Wolf occasionally trying to get such word out. And speaking of which, release Coyote versus ACME, damn it! So naturally, when Wile Coyote accompanied me and Zach to Furpocalypse 2024, he had to spread awareness of his situation, and many of our friends really appreciated the gesture, showing him love and being on his side. And after that workout, Wile took it to outside the Warner Brothers lot a few weeks ago, and he really grabbed the media's attention. Wouldn't surprise me if we had a small part to play in this business decision finally happening. And again, let me remind you that Warner Brothers Discovery is still not planning to sell off the whole Looney Tunes franchise. Warner is just so synonymous with the Looney Tunes, as I already mentioned, even with the rough shape the studio is currently in. And according to Warner Archives' George Feltenstein, they're currently working on restoring the original Bugs Bunny show primetime series in the early 1960s. And they've also just added the Looney Tunes show sitcom and the Sylvester Tweety Mysteries to Tubi. There's also a cheesy hour-long public domain Looney Tunes cartoon compilation there now. Tubi was known for also streaming some stuff from the public domain distributors, unlicensed stuff, but I've got a wild hunch it could be some kind of trial run to see if people will want to watch classic Looney Tunes on Tubi before negotiating on that with Warner Bros. Discovery. Also, Warner did get $50 million through this deal, and they could still use some money, especially with all the films they've released this year so far not performing very well, like their Mickey 17 movie being their most recent bomb. Can't the other Warner Bros. Discovery executives and such see that David Zaslav himself is the big problem that's hurting the studio and its legacy? Of course, they're not the only one. As I said, Disney is still suffering, with Captain America Brave New World and the Snow White remake both performing equally as poor at the box office. But with the former, Ketchup Entertainment initially planned to release The Day the Earth Blew Up theatrically on February 28. But upon seeing that it would have been too close to the Captain America movie, they decided to play it safe by pushing back the release date to March 14th. But I guess they didn't have to worry too much. But needless to say, it still worked. Even with the Snow White remake coming out a week afterward, as they knew that was going to bomb.
And yeah, I do kind of feel bad for my Disney pal Grumpy. But at least I'm glad I have some form of success again. And we took a step in the right direction in saving the Looney Tunes. While maybe the Snow White remake bombing, that's a step in the right direction for convincing Disney to stop doing all those stupid live-action remakes.
You got that right, Daffy. It seems all the motion picture industry is in a big pickle right now. But this Coyote vs. Acme news is like a somewhat bigger ray of sunshine in the dark storm clouds of the Warner Bros. Discovery merger and other mishaps. So in a way, this is a victory for us. We're finally getting official release of Coyote vs. Acme for 2026. Better late than never, I always say. And as more things keep going on, you should keep watching this channel to see whatever happens next. Either with me or Zach or the Looney Tunes or anything else.